WLFI just froze $107 million belonging to Justin Sun. Welcome back, folks. Time to catch up with the market on SoSoValue Crypto Daily. All right, let's get right into the numbers. The market is feeling a bit sluggish today, kind of taking a breather. The total crypto market cap dipped by 0.7% over the last 24 hours, bringing it to $3.91 trillion. Bitcoin is holding its ground like a champ, hovering near $110,000 with just a tiny 0.17% daily decline. It barely flinched. Ethereum, on the other hand, took a bit more of a hit, sliding 2.7% down to $4,300. Looking across the board, most major crypto sectors saw losses between 1 and 3%. The DeFi sector got hit particularly hard, dropping around 5%. And a lot of that drag is coming from a story we'll get to in a minute involving WLFI. But first, the big story of the day, and I mean this is huge. The battle for the future of money is heating up. We're talking about the race to build a payment infrastructure for stablecoins. Think of it like building the new highways for digital dollars. Two massive players just made major moves. First up, Fireblocks. They've launched a global stablecoin payment network. Their whole game is focusing on regulatory compliance and making it work across different blockchains. They're positioning themselves as the ultimate back-end provider, a sort of compliance as a service. The article calls it a stablecoin Swift plus VisaNet, which is a perfect way to put it. They're building the pipes so that big banks and financial institutions can plug into stablecoin payments without having to build the entire system themselves. Super smart. But then there's Stripe. Yes, that Stripe. The Web 2 payment giant is jumping into the ring with Tempo, a public blockchain built specifically for stablecoin transactions for big businesses. What makes this so wild? Two things. First, they plan to price transaction fees in good old-fashioned fiat currency, not some random native token. Can you imagine? No more trying to explain gas fees to your company's accounting department. This makes it so much more intuitive for mainstream businesses. Second, they're trying to find that perfect sweet spot between decentralization and the stability that big companies need for real-time payments. With Stripe's existing connections to millions of businesses, they could seriously leapfrog crypto natives like Ripple and even established giants like Visa. This is a massive bridge from Web 2 to Web 3 being built right before our eyes. With the stablecoin market cap now over $260 billion, you can see why the fight for this space is so intense. Next up, some potentially fantastic news from the regulators in the US. SEC Chair Paul Atkins just unveiled the agency's 2025 spring regulatory agenda. It includes about 20 proposed rule changes, and the overall vibe is surprisingly friendly. We're hearing words like softer, modernized, and innovation-friendly. The agenda hints at a potential crypto safe harbor, which is basically a grace period for new projects to build and innovate without immediately facing the wrath of regulators. It also points to updated rules for brokers and custody. This is the kind of regulatory clarity that could finally convince huge institutional investors to jump in with both feet. Now, there is a potential downside. The article notes that higher compliance costs could make it tougher for smaller, scrappy startups to compete, which might dampen some of that wild experimentation we love in crypto. But compared to the EU's strict MiCAR rules, the SEC's approach seems more lenient and adaptable. It looks like the US is trying to balance protecting investors while not scaring away innovation. We'll be watching this one closely. In other news, we've got more corporate adoption. The design software company Figma just increased its Bitcoin holdings to $91 million in Q2, and they did it using a Bitcoin ETF. According to its CEO, Dylan Field, this isn't about speculation. He stated it's a strategic diversification of their massive $1.6 billion cash reserve. It's a treasury management play, not a gamble. It's a smart way to hedge. But here's the funny part. Despite beating revenue expectations, Figma stock actually fell 18% this quarter. It seems Wall Street is still getting used to the idea of seeing Bitcoin on a company's balance sheet. Guess they're still getting used to it. And finally, let's get to the drama. World Liberty Financial, or WLFI, has officially blacklisted an address belonging to Tron founder Justin Sun. Whoa! This means they've frozen about 5.95 million of his unlocked WLFI tokens, worth a cool $107 million. The team made the move after spotting some minor transfers from his address, which sparked fears of a massive token dump. To be fair, Sun is a huge investor, holding about $700 million in WLFI, though most of it is locked. He clarified that the transfers were just routine tests and he had no plans to sell. But the market didn't wait to find out. The news triggered a sharp sell-off, with WLFI's price dropping over 15% in 24 hours and now down more than 60% from its September peak. The project team is now scrambling to stabilize things with token burns and buybacks to try and win back market confidence. A classic crypto roller coaster. That's a wrap for today's update. Catch you tomorrow, same time, same place. Cut through the chaos. Focus on what drives the crypto market. Stay on top of crypto research, all in one place, at SoSoValue.com.